everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Everything is fine here on Detention Block AA23, a Star Wars podcast. I'm Mike, flying solo today. Um, some things have been popping up as of recent. Of course, it's Star Wars Celebration. So there's been a lot of news that's being released. Some trailers, some cool stuff, toys and whatnot, or collectibles. But outside of Star Wars Celebration, there's something really exciting that I can't wait to share with everyone, and I can't wait to see for the first time for myself. But before we get to that, we'll go over the usual elements. So if you're listening to us right now, hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment, rate, review, all the above. We greatly appreciate any little thing that you can do to help us get our name out there amongst all the other Star Wars channels and podcasts. As a reminder, once we do hit 200 subscribers, we will have a prize giveaway. And the more I've been thinking about what the prize could be, I think how one of the potential options has something to do with something I'm going to share today. So I'll let you guys connect the dots as we get there. But yeah, again, we greatly appreciate any little thing that you can do. So if you want to be entered into that drawing, subscribe to this channel and make sure that your name is public so I know who to enter into it. So um, and our chat is live and running. So bring us your thoughts, opinions. We'll bring you in as part of the show. So yeah, the first thing that I kind of want to get to is I mentioned it not too long ago as I just ordered something from them, but a Star Wars fan, first upmost thing, and just someone truly passionate about the franchise, has been a fan for a long time, and to the level that he started his own channel long time ago, probably 8 years ago, 2016 or something like that. And fast forward a few years, was truly an inspiration to our channel being started. So I remember watching him around when he started and just loved his contributions, his lore, his knowledge, his passion, everything. And around a few years after first watching him, I remember the first thing was he was at a celebration and there was a trailer reaction, and he had his phone with him and he was recording himself as they were showing the trailer, and he was just blown away by it. But a few years later, I got the idea of, I would really love to do that. Like, what's not to like about talking about Star Wars with friends, with fans? So he was truly an inspiration to starting this podcast. But of course, I'm talking about Star Wars theory. And one of the things he's been doing, he's been working on a project, his own, which was originally a live action film. I think they've gone towards like animation or AI or something for the subsequent episodes, but he released an episode maybe 5 years ago for a Vader film, and it was really done well. And he later created theory sabers, which he used as a means to generate money to continue the Vader series. So all the proceeds that he earns from Theory Sabers goes towards the production. And again, one of the recent episodes that we recorded, I had received a saber that I purchased. So I like to think that I've played a part in the production of the upcoming episodes. But he, 5 years later from the first one, finally getting a trailer for episode 2 of Vader, and I haven't seen it yet, so I'm really excited about this, and I will share it for all of us to watch and kind of react to it and everything. So, and then after that, we will jump into the Star Wars Celebration news that's been coming out. And if you see my TV flashing to my left here, it's because I have Star Wars Celebration live on right now. It's because it's in Japan, so it's the opposite time zone as us essentially. So while we're going to bed, things are just getting started and getting active over there. So trying to stay in touch with as much as possible. We got K2SO and Cassian are on being interviewed right now. So Andy Tudyk and Diego are being interviewed. So I will have to go back and rewatch the replay of it so I can hear what they're saying. But I can kind of hear what's going on. But if you see the flashing, that's what it is. And sorry if my microphone picks anything up from that. But again, trying to hear it while doing this. But I was never good at multitasking. Can't chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. But yeah, let's fire it up, this trailer. So what we usually do is just watch it first time through. Won't really say much unless something really stands out or whatnot. And then we'll go back and watch it a second time and kind of talk through it a little more, react a little more. So granted, it's just me, so we'll see how much more reaction we get into it. But let me pull it up on my iPad really quick. I gotta share my screen. So give me a second as I pull it up. Any listeners, have you seen the first episode of Vader? If you haven't, I recommend you do so. All right, let's get into YouTube. I got it pulled up. And we'll start it in 3. Oh, hold on. I gotta adjust something really quick. Get that out of there. And then I gotta adjust there. All right, and we'll start it in 3, 2, 1, go. Good music. Fan film, baby. I'll let it ride. All right, that looks to be an end. All right. That's really quick, really short. But the episodes themselves, at least the first one, was pretty quick. So you only have so much content to work with for a trailer without like giving everything away. But like, first of all, what I see is plenty of Jedi. Obviously, this is post Order 66 as he's fully in his Vader outfit. So he's going and he's hunting down these Jedi. And obviously he's got his trooper force with him, but he looks like he means business. And this looks like it's going to be, I don't know, some pretty violent scenes in this, pretty hardcore fighting. So I'm sure Vader's going to unleash his full power of the force. So let's run that back one more time. And the music, the background music was really good, subtle, but very Star Wars thematic. And obviously it's probably got to be, to avoid copyright, unless he was able to afford it. It's got to be original work or something similar to Star Wars, but altered a bit. So, all right, we're going to play it again in 3, 2, 1. Is that Naboo? Kind of looks like it. It kind of makes sense. All right, we got our troopers. Star Wars Theory logo. Jedi's killing some of the troopers here. I mean, is this Coruscant, the Jedi Temple? like Kakaton. Got a Wookiee. And the man himself. Dang. Boy, that hits hard. Vader. Vader 2. A Star Wars Theory fan film. Again, if you haven't seen the first one, go see it. It's really good. And I think he's announced up to 3 episodes so far. So this is just for the second episode. All right. Well, let me close this down. Where am I going? All right. Stop share. Cool. All right. So yeah, a lot to look forward to with that. I think it's supposed to come out in the fall, somewhere around Labor Day, if I remember correctly from what was mentioned, but not entirely sure. Just I think it's in the fall time period. But yeah, so congrats to Star Wars Theory for coming out with episode 2. I know he's put a lot of effort and time and money and to get this going. So again, he's truly a fan. He speaks his mind. He's not afraid to tell it as it is from his own point of view. But I think that's a good thing. I think that's important, and I appreciate his dedication to George Lucas's vision of Star Wars and being outside of the corporate control of Disney. So um, it, he, his passion is truly in the right spot. So love listening and watching the guy. So if you're not familiar with him, go give him a watch, go give him a listen, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Oh, and which reminds me, so I know I showed the saber. So this is one of the sabers I got from Theory Sabers, and I just want to give you an idea of the quality of the sound and everything. So, like, how badass is this? And I'm sure you can hear it, but it's like, oops, I pressed the button. It's really in tune with like the motion. Like if you move it slow, it makes a subtle noise. If you move it really hard, as I hit my lamp up there, um, it intensifies in the sound. So really cool, and you can play like music along with it. It's a little not complicated, but a little complex in terms of mastering the controls. I still haven't done that in terms of like how you play the music or how you change the color of it, or there's all these different abilities and capabilities of this and how it's programmed. So it takes a little bit of time to learn. But this is like the Profi version, which is the highest level of and that's in regards to the actual saber portion. um there's 3 tiers, and I got the Profi is the highest. And then the saber itself, this is the Annie 3 SE, which is the more affordable version of the saber. There's, I think, 1 or 2 more levels higher that you can get to, but this one is really good in terms of like weight, and um, it's said that this one you can use as actual dueling as well. It's not just for show; it's for dueling. So pretty cool. Um, you can. Well, this is to turn off, so I'll just turn it off really quick. And then I also got, it was a BOGO at the time, so this one is one of the lower tier ones, but still pretty cool. Oh, I just muted it. So, well, you can get the light again. It's a little complex with the buttons, but I can unmute it, but I'll just show you the light. Pretty cool. The hilt, it's just a standard black, pretty slick saber. This one, the light, so this is the lowest tier of the 3 because it's the free version, and this one just kind of projects the light up from the bottom. The Anakin one was like LED all the way through, so it definitely is brighter and more complex in terms of the light distribution. This is just more of a flashlight style, but still pretty cool. So yeah, if you haven't gotten a theory saber, I strongly recommend it. They're quite better quality than the Black series and not as bulky as Black series ones. So um, give them a check out. All right. So let's move on to some of the celebration news as they keep having more stuff that I want to watch. But so we're currently in day 2, and as you know, celebration is in Tokyo, Japan. And the first major announcement I want to talk about is the Sean Levy movie. So director Sean Levy and surprise guest star Ryan Gosling. So he is definitely in a Star Wars movie coming up. And they announced the title of the new Star Wars theatrical film that they are working on, and it's going to be called Star Wars Starfighter. So many different possibilities of what it can be, but or who Ryan Gosling can be. I'm assuming he's going to be like a pilot, smuggler, something of the sort. Hold on, I've got my baby monitor right here, so that's kind of tripping out. It's just trying to connect to baby unit. I'm just going to turn the volume down so it's like watch. Um, anyways, so Ryan Gosling is, I'm assuming, going to be the pilot of the Starfighter. Is if he's like the main guy. I get a sense of like a Top Gun feeling. So we'll see. But what they have said is it will be a standalone film, and with all new characters and settings and everything. And it's taking place after the events of the Rise of Skywalker. And they're doing it on purpose so they can have like a clean slate to do whatever they want, have the freedom and liberties to bring in everything original. And it will hit theaters May 28th, 2027. So a little more than 2 years from now. So we'll get the Mando movie in May of 2026. And then a year later, another theatrical film from Star Wars, Star Wars Starfighter. So that is really cool. And they had in the background, so it was on the stage and peeking out from the back of the stage, you could see a portion of a starfighter. And I don't know if that was going to be the star or the starfighter that the pilot or what Ryan Gosling's going to be flying, or if it was just some other prop, but they were being a little bit secretive of it. So I feel like it's something actually pertaining to the film, and production is starting this summer, I believe, this summer or fall. So pretty cool. But they were asking about it, and they're like, you'll see, type of a thing. So they didn't want to give too much information away. The next thing, so Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver. That's right, Sigourney Weaver, the legend behind Ripley from Alien. John Favreau and a few special guests came together to celebrate the Mandalorian and Grogu during Star Wars celebration in Japan. So this was one of their, I think it was their opening like panel and introduction type thing, and they were just talking about the film coming up. And so this one releases May 22nd, 2026, as I mentioned. And they showed a trailer for this one as well. And it was a private trailer. So like us viewers from afar weren't able to see it. And only the people in the audience were. But there's, certain dedicated fans that are recording these things. And I know they are told turn off their phones and everything, but not everyone did. And a trailer did get released, and I was able to see it. Usually I would like wait and do a trailer reaction with that, but I would wait to view it until we were recording with it, but I didn't know if they were going to take it down by that time. So I definitely checked it out, and some cool stuff in it. And it shows the inside of an AT-AT, and Din Djarin is in there, and he essentially wipes out the whole crew of stormtroopers or snow troopers in the AT-AT, and like flies out as it detonates to explode. He's got Grogu with him. What else? You see Sigourney Weaver, and she's a pilot. She's got the Rebel pilot outfit on, and You see Zeb, so that's pretty cool. We are going to get more Zeb time in live action or CGI. Zeb, what else did we see? There was a cool scene too. So there's like multiple AT-ATs and they're like walking on the cliffside. It's almost like Lord of the Rings style where they're climbing the mountains and the rock folk or whatever are having like a rock war. It's like it was, or that was the Hobbit, right? Yeah, that was the Hobbit. Anyways, and you see the one that Din Djarin explodes, like falls down um the cliff, the side of the cliff they're on, and then you hear Sigourney Weaver say messy. So anyways, there's another cool scene where he's like on like a little walker thing, him and Grogu, and they're like running, weaving through the gunshots of the AT-ATs. But it looks really good. There there's a scene where a mouse droid Grogu essentially uses the force and like kind of picks it up and then just like smashes it, and then there's a tire that like rolls by him and he kind of just watches it as it rolls by and it's like, oh, okay. So there's definitely like a hint of comedy in it. um a loose comedy. I'm not going to say it like all out comedy, just some chuckles in there. So it's definitely going to be like, mm, I mean, it's going to be serious. It's going to be like any other the Mandalorians that we've seen. So I'm sure it'll be on par. It's going to be a little more, um, how do I want to put it? Well, obviously theatrical because it's coming to the big screen, so they want to make a bigger punch. But it definitely gave that sense of big screen. So looking forward to that coming out in a year, and I'm sure they'll probably release that trailer or one similar to the public probably pretty soon, maybe by the end of this weekend. And if they do that, then we'll bring it to our channel and we'll watch it together. So, but if you search it, you can probably still find the trailer that I saw. So, let's see. Uh, a new animated series was announced as well, based on the animation of like Clone Wars, and this one is Maul Shadow Lord. And honestly, seeing this is I'm most excited about this, with the news that was released. I mean, we already knew about the Mando Grogu movie, and we kind of had hints of the Ryan Gosling and Sean Levy movie. So this is like actual true new news that was released, and I'm super excited about this because Maul is a great character. Sam Witwer is going to reprise his role, and he does Maul so well. That voice is just perfect. So it can't go wrong with getting some more Maul in. And it looks like it takes place right after, or no, yeah, it's right after season 7 of Clone Wars. Sounds like it's like a year afterwards. So it's before, Crimson Dawn, Solo, Maul. So before that, and obviously before Rebels Maul. And this also had a private trailer that also got leaked. So I was able to watch that. I have watched it again in fear of it being, closed down by Disney. So I got to view it, and it looks really, really good. I am stoked. And it looks like he is looking for an apprentice in this. And um, I have to believe, I mean, they showed who it is, and um, he was given the sense that he was drawn to this individual. And it appears that it is the eventual Darth Talon. So if you're familiar with Legends or the expanded universe, you know who Darth Talon is. And Darth Talon was supposed to play a part in George Lucas's vision of the sequel trilogy, apprentice to Darth Maul. Darth Maul was going to be like the big baddie in Lucas's vision for the sequel trilogy, and Darth Talon was going to be Maul's apprentice. So it looks like they're bringing that in, but in an animated series, and it's called Maul Shadow Lord. And I have to believe that is kind of setting the stage potentially for a later villain. So is Darth, if this is Darth Talon, which I have to believe it's a Twi'lek and red body and everything, that this will Darth Talon would be the potential baddie in that it's revealed either in like the Mandoverse of everything that's going on there, or maybe in the subsequent uh, product that will come out that follows the sequel trilogy, not the Starship movie, but like the Rey stuff that's coming out. Maybe the Star Talon will play a role in it. It would make sense in terms of time because obviously Palpatine is gone after Rise of Skywalker, so the Sith. Who's the next Sith that comes in line? Even though Maul just, he kind of removed himself from being Sith because he was betrayed by the Sith and the Emperor, but maybe he goes Luke Skywalker and goes and creates his own form of the Sith. Well, again, this is pure speculation. I'm kind of going off a little bit, just the ideas that are popping in my head. But either way, we're getting Darth Maul in an animated series of his own, and he is getting an apprentice, which he's in the trailer. They're showing that he's training her, and she looks pretty strong and pretty driven for whatever trauma that has happened in her past or whatnot. Um, so looks good, and it's going to premiere in 2026. So some good things coming in 2026. I know 2025 it's Andor we have, and we're going to get a season 2 of Vision, and we had Skeleton Crew, but it's kind of been a lighter year in terms of content. So we got a movie, we've got the small show, and maybe there'll be more stuff that will be. Ahsoka season 2, I think, is supposed to be coming out in 2026 as well. So got some things looking forward to in that year. And then there was a trailer released for the new, or a trailer for the new release for Star Wars Outlaws game called A Pirate's Fortune. I haven't watched that trailer yet, and I will, but I haven't even played the game first. But not that's going to stop me from watching the trailer. But I was just kind of looking into it before jumping on here, so maybe I'll watch it afterwards. But it says join Kay and Nix on a new adventure in Star Wars Outlaw, A Pirate's Fortune this May. In the new story pack, Kay Vess, who's the lead, and Nix, which is her sidekick creature pet thing, team up with the legendary Hondo Onaka on a journey that picks up after the completion of the main storyline in the base game. So you're going to get some more Hondo Onaka in this game, and who doesn't love good old Hondo, that pirate scum, who's also a good guy at heart. So I still waiting for him in live action. Thought we would get him by now in the Mandoverse, but we haven't. But that doesn't mean we still won't. And then the other piece that I wanted to bring, so a season 3 of Young Jedi Adventures announced, which will be available for viewing this fall. And I'm excited for that because Jackson, my son, is getting closer and closer to the age where he will start watching something like that. And I definitely plan on watching that show with him. So looking forward to it. This just gives me more content to watch with him once we get to that point. So again, just a lot of news coming through. There's much more too. And I mean, there's collectibles, there's Legos, there's all these other things that are released, and I think like comics and things. So keep your eyes peeled to what I'm watching. So Star Wars Celebration Live. You can find it on YouTube and be up to date with all the news yourself. Or you can wait until our next recording and we'll bring you some more Star Wars news. But again, I really just want to jump on and go through the Star Wars Theory trailer and just talk about some of the big things I'm excited for that has been announced already. And I'm sure some of those news items we will talk with the rest of the guys the next time we're on. But I will wrap it up for now. So again, if you're listening to us right now, hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment, rate, review, all the above. We greatly appreciate it. And subscribe so you can be part of the prize giveaway that we're going to have once we hit 200 subs. And I've been having, as I mentioned at the start of the recording, having some thoughts on what I can use as the prize. I originally had something else, but I might change gears. We'll see. But until then, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. enjoy all the Star Wars celebration things that are getting released, because it's going to be a fun and active weekend. So we look forward to talking more about it next week. Until then, as always, may the Force be with you.
Thanks for calling. This is Han Solo, and I'm going to be keeping you company for the next few hours right here on the Midnight Shift. Something's down.